welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So guys, today's reading is all about your destiny numbers prediction. And you may be asking yourself, what is a destiny number? So your destiny number, also known as your name number, is the number that you receive when you turn each and every one of the letters of your name into a number, you add them all up, and then you receive your destiny number. But I have a video in which I explain to you exactly how to calculate your destiny number with a free PDF that you can download. I will link that video in the description box as well as over here, so you can pause this video, watch that, find out what your destiny number is, and then come back to watch your numbers prediction. So each destiny number receives its own reading. All of the numbers are linked down below in the description box. So you just click the timestamp of your destiny number and you'll be fast forwarded to your reading. So because I want to keep this intro very short and to the point, we're gonna get straight into the reading. I'll be starting off with the destiny number 1, and to all of my other beautiful numbers, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, all of my destiny number 1s, and welcome to your reading. So I'm gonna get straight into it. I'll be starting off with my tarot deck, so we can figure out exactly what's coming for you on your life path. So we have the 10 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, as well as the 4 of Wands. So one thing that I can see here for all my number 1s is a stable life, okay? I can see here in the 3 of Wands that you playfully learn new things, you're playfully engaged in furthering your knowledge as well as climbing up the ladder to success. And I see here in the 4 of Wands that this creates a stable life for you that is yet still fun. So it's not that stability where you have just your dry job that you go to every single day, but there are actually fun activities surrounding you, your life, and the people who are in it. In the 10 of Swords, I do see, however, that in a sense you have to move on from trying to make people see the light, okay? So I do see that for you, it's important to let go at the right moment to avoid kind of dragging people on this journey that is life with you who really just aren't as ambitious as you are, who really just don't have the same goals, the same values, trying to show those people the light even though they don't want to see it. You're wasting your time, all my number 1s. I know that you love to initiate, to take action, but sometimes you need to protect your own precious energy first. Then we have seek seclusion, which is one thing that you're being called to engage in more. You are a lot more active than the other destiny numbers, than the other name numbers. You're the type of person who is able to deal with people and groups of people in a, how should I say, in a more efficient way, in a way how you come out of the situation feeling more energized and feeling kind of inspired by what you've heard of other people. But it's important for you to not forget to go inward sometimes as well and to spend time in solitary confinement. Let's move further into your reading. We have hidden blessings. So I do see here that sometimes you can overlook hidden blessings. So destiny path number 1, make sure that you keep your eyes wide open, make sure that you keep your intuition going, that you exercise it just like you would a muscle, just like you would your body, because the more you exercise these intuition muscles, the stronger that they become. So you're being called to do so in order to never miss another hidden blessing. Next up, we have the 3 of Wands. So we have the 3 of Wands show up already twice within your reading. And the 3 of Wands is all about development and taking opportunities. So I do see here that a lot of these hidden blessings are hidden behind opportunities that you may miss the potential in, okay? So that you may be looking at these opportunities thinking, oh, it's okay, but you kind of miss to see how much potential is really in the opportunity, and then you let it pass you by, and that blessing never unfolds and reveals itself. So destiny number 1, it's good that you're discerning as well as assertive, but at the same time, give more things a chance. Next up, we have the 2 of Rings. So while you're giving things a chance when it comes to different projects, I see here in the 2 of Rings that when it comes to your professional life, when it comes to your job life, that there are some fluctuations coming for you, but nevertheless, you are highly adaptable. Now, do you always want to adapt? No. Is it fun for you to adapt to situations? Also not. Do you like to initiate how to adapt? that is where you can thrive. So all of my destiny number ones do know that you're really good at initiating change and bringing new change to the front. You don't like necessarily listening or taking orders of change, but you're the one who is really good at creating the change and then actually imposing it, actually bringing it into action, into reality. And flow like water, I see that you're being called to sometimes go with the flow a little bit more. You can't always be the first to do something. You can't always be the one person on the playing field. For instance, if you're thinking of starting a different type of career, if you're thinking of starting a business, but you're worried that there are too many people who are already doing that sort of business, I do want you to know here that sometimes you just need to go with it and remind yourself, with like almost 8 billion people on the planet, surely there is enough space in that niche for you as well. Then last but not least, connecting with your ancestors is a way in which you can find a lot more value than you ever realized. So all my destiny number ones, make sure that you figure out a bit more about your ancestors, about your lineage, as much as you possibly can. I mean, I know it's not possible for every person out there. There aren't records of every single human being, so sometimes it can be really hard. That's something that I find that I struggle with as well. But try and ask the right people, do research in the right photo albums and the right documents, even if you have to cram through your garage or through your cellar in order to get there. I see that connecting with your ancestors is going to reveal really amazing insights of who your lineage stems from and what they were doing, what they were up to, what resonated with them, and what their life's purpose was. I see that that will really spark kind of like this passion in you and make you think like, oh, that's why I'm so talented when it comes to drawing, music, arts. I'm really good with numbers. I'm really good with people. It's all going to make a lot more sense for you. So all of my beautiful destiny number ones, I truly hope that you enjoyed your reading, that you found it insightful. Let me know down below if it resonated for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello all my number twos, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to get straight into it to figure out exactly what the universe has to say to you right now. Are you ready? So we have creating art. So all of my number twos, you are the type of people who need balance, but you're also really good at creating balance for other people. But when it comes to yourself, you gotta take your own advice. So I do see here in creating art that can bring you to a more balanced place, to a more calm state. Whether you think you're a good artist or not, just sitting down, drawing, and being in that zone, being in that flow state is really beneficial to your life right now. Next up, we have the 10 of Cups. So nevertheless, I do see here that your destiny is to be happy in your relationships, is to be happy in life. The 10 of Cups speaks of emotional fulfillment, which is where I see that you derive the most energy from, you derive the most happiness from a place where you feel like everything is in line, everything is set up in a way that you can just relax, that you can just feel emotionally safe and secure. Next up, we have the 10 of Swords. So I do see here in the 10 of Swords that sometimes your need to balance things out, almost like your Libra, can be so strong that you put yourself in harm's way. You put yourself at harm's length just in order to try to explain to people how much balance will serve their life and how much it will serve them to try and be healthier, to try and be fitter, especially if there's somebody very close to you who is leading an unhealthy lifestyle and you're very worried that they're going towards an early end of their lifetime in this realm, and you're trying to just knock some sense into them. I can see here in the 10 of Swords that you have to detach that sense of responsibility that you have with other people and remind yourself like, hey, you're just responsible for your life, your health, and you can balance that as much as you would like and as much as you can. But when it comes to other people, you have to remind yourself that you can't influence their actions at the end of the day. Next up, we have the Queen of Cups. So all my number twos in the Queen of Cups, I see here that you're a very authentic type of person, and that works really well when it comes to your relationships. And corresponding to the 10 of Cups, that is like your recipe for success. That is why people love being around you, because you're so authentic, real yourself, but also understanding that other people have other ways. You don't feel like just because you're somebody who, for instance, likes to be productive or likes to reach for big things, likes to dream big, you understand that not everybody wants to do that. Some people are very much happy with more of a mundane existence, and you respect that just as much as people who are maybe as ambitious as you are. Next up, we have the Dawn of Cups. So in the Dawn of Cups, I see that you're always really curious to compare and figure out exactly why people are a certain way. So for example, why somebody who is a grocery store worker is happier than somebody who has a high-paying executive job. You're trying to figure out why that is the case, what this person has, which is most likely inner peace that the other person does not possess, and how you can get more of that regardless of that person's background, that person's economic or social status. You don't believe in all that stuff, group number 2. You believe in finding balance, no matter what that looks like for each individual human being. Next up, we have hidden blessings. So all of my number 2s in hidden blessings, I do see here that in your pursuit to finding the sweet spot, finding exactly where you're comfortable, you can sometimes miss out on hidden blessings, which is where you're being called to be aware of your surroundings, aware of also your intentions, why you're moving into that spot, before you just get so entangled in your approach to a new life and a life that is balanced that you completely forget to enjoy the moments and the hidden blessings. Next up, we have boundaries. So all my number 2s, you have to set healthy boundaries, because I do see here that what can kind of like snatch away some blessings from you before you even realize that they're blessings is when you don't have boundaries in place with other people. So people who see opportunities that are surrounding you prior to you, and they make use of those, or they kind of like zap them away from you, and you only later realize like, had I had boundaries in place, then I could have had my moment. Then I could have really enjoyed that success. I could have really enjoyed that opportunity, but I didn't, and I trusted this person, and now the situation has come and gone. So set some nice boundaries and make sure that you don't feel bad about it. There's nothing to feel bad about when it comes to boundaries. Then we have journaling. So self-reflection is a great way for you to find inner peace and for you to detach yourself from this feeling like you have to take people along on your journey, especially people who don't want to be there or don't have the motivation to. Talk about it to yourself, journal it, and then maybe read it to somebody close to you, or even a professional who can then give you feedback on your thoughts. Last but not least, we have a read for you. So all of my number 2s, reading is something really valuable that will allow you to see these hidden blessings and will allow you to just become more creative, in a sense of not only feeling emotionally like you're in control and like your life is destined to be in a favorable place, but also financially, also economically. So do know here in read that you're able to create a favorable economic position and a life for yourself by learning. This is not something that just happens naturally. You have to invest time, effort, and energy in reading. So read some sort of blog that has to do with finances, some sort of like finance, personal finance type of self-help books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a great place to start. It's a great place to kind of like whet your appetite for personal finance development and just financial literacy that can help you throughout your life. So all my number 2s, we're at the end of your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful as well as motivational. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello all my number 3s, and welcome to your reading. So I'm gonna get straight into it so we can figure out exactly what messages are present for you. So first and foremost, we have modify. So one thing that I can see here for all my beautiful number 3s, I can see that modification is something that is essential and that can help you so much. As a number 3, you love to see other people smile, you love to make other people happy, but what about you, okay? It's very important that you modify certain aspects of your life to a way that you feel satisfied with them, whether it be your job, whether it be your financial situation. Try and find different ways to practice what you preach for yourself, and not always just give others the most amazing pieces of advice, whereas you're still sitting here struggling. Next up, we have ruminate. So I definitely see here that just being a little bit nostalgic about all of the times that you made certain mistakes, but knowing damn well that you're not going to make those mistakes anymore. I see that that can help you have a more positive outlook on moving forward. As a number 3, you're very creative. You're the type of person who always learns from mistakes and uses that knowledge moving forward, which I can see is super beneficial to your life path in general. Then we have positive-minded people. So because you are the type of a destiny number that loves to see others win and you love to encourage others to win, I do see here in the positive-minded people that it's very important for you to keep in mind that there are some people out there that you can't help, okay? No matter how much you try to encourage them, no matter how much you wish for them to see the light, you have to sometimes just focus on yourself as well as your group of people, okay? The positive-minded people, the type of people that feed off of the value and energy that you bring to them and that can actually make the most of it, that actually take your words seriously and take them to heart. Don't waste time on people who just take your words and throw them straight in the recycling. Next up, we have energy work. So you would benefit from energy work, both doing energy work on other people because you are this collaborative person who gets along really well with others and is well liked, but at the same time, you need energy work, my number 3s, okay? So your chakras are frequently imbalanced because you can be kind of all over the place, so it's important for you to realign. Meditation is really great for a very busy mind, just as yours, as well as yoga. Next up, we have being still. So being still is something that we were literally just venturing into with meditation, doing yoga. Just bringing the mind and the body to a place of stillness is absolutely essential and beneficial to the long-term well-being of destiny number 3, because otherwise you're just going to feel overworked, potentially burnt out, and just like things aren't working in your favor whatsoever. So we have 2 cards that clearly want to speak within your reading, which is the Moon as well as the 10 of Wands. So in the Moon, I do see here that listening to your intuition is what you should try and focus on more, because when you overthink things, you start to make up scenarios in your head that are literally just an illusion, so far removed from the truth, okay? So feelings of anxiety, feelings that are kind of creating self-deprecating thoughts where the truth is so far from reality that to other people, it's ridiculous why you would even think that you can't accomplish the things that you've set your mind to. But when you overthink it for too long, you start to question yourself and your abilities. All of a sudden, you are in a downward spiral, which you're being called to just intuitively make choices, make them quick, follow through with them, especially if they're choices that show how much you believe in yourself. In the 10 of Wands, I do see here that taking responsibility is something that you're good at compared to other destiny numbers. And I see that that really helps you with life's challenges, but also publicly being this figure that people trust in, being a great leader, because nobody likes a leader that never takes responsibility. Nobody likes someone who basically can never admit when they're wrong. So that is where I can see here in the 10 of Wands that taking responsibility in the right moments serves you really well. Next up, we have the 4 of Cups as well as the 8 of Cups. So one thing that I want you to know here in the 4 of Cups is that emotionally there may be some really unsettling feelings that arise when you're alone, when you're in stillness, when you're meditating, which is normal, okay? All of my number 3s, don't freak out, but it may be new to you because you don't spend very much time just in stillness. I see here in the 8 of Cups that there is so much exploration that can be done on an internal level for you. So when you start to get comfortable with being in this new place emotionally, you can take a step back and deal with all of the things that you love about yourself, all of the things that you kind of struggle with, so shadow work, and you just feel like you're more in control over your life. So not just helping others, being very creative, but actually being in control over your destiny. So spend time in meditation and doing some internal work at this period in your life, all my number 3s. So we're at the end of your reading. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful and motivational. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello Hello all my Destiny number 4s and welcome to your reading. So I'm gonna get straight into it with my tarot deck. So just lean back, relax, and enjoy as we figure out exactly what messages are present for you. So we have the 10 of Pentacles. So all of my number 4s, I do see here financial success coming for you. I see here that financial success is something that you may have thought you would not accomplish to this extent, but I see in the 10 of Pentacles that you have fulfillment that is coming your way when it comes to that. But you are a very dependable person who has this very earthy, grounded type of energy. So to others, it's not really a surprise, even though it may be to you. Next up, we have the 3 of Pentacles. I see that the only way that you will be able to get to this massive success financially in the earthly realms is by collaborating with others, as well as taking into account other people's advice and other people's ideas. We have one more card that clearly wants to speak. We have the Tower. So the Tower is here when something has to be rebuilt from the ground up. So I do see that there has to be multiple times where you restructure your entire belief system, your entire thought process when it comes to finances, money, how to handle money, how to invest money. I see here in the 3 of Pentacles that the best way for you to do that in order to end up with this 10 of Pentacles very favorable outcome for your financial life is to read a lot of books, listen to podcasts, and take advice from people who have been successful financially, who have been successful in the earthly realms, and allow for their words to actually penetrate your mind, to actually change the way you think, not just thinking to yourself, well, that's crazy that, you know, this person thinks my house is not an asset, it's my biggest asset. Whereas, you know, it does maybe make sense when they're trying to explain to you that if it costs you money and it's not making you money, it's not a real asset. So instead of really giving it thought, you may think to yourself, well, I already know what's going on, but that's where number 4s need to take a step back, need to shed their egos and allow themselves to hear other people's advice in order to grow to this huge amount of success that can potentially lie ahead if you're open-minded. Next up, we have the 4 of Swords. So in the 4 of Swords, I do see here that just having time to heal, having time to be in this like place of solitude is going to allow you to actually process all of these thoughts, is going to allow you to actually process all this information in a sense that you can then turn it into a business plan, into a financial plan that will get you where you're trying to go in the earthly realms. And then we have the Ace of Swords, and just like every ace, the Ace is a very favorable card. It is a card that shows a breakthrough coming for you. So while things may be difficult right now financially, they may be difficult right now for you economically, I do see here that with mental focus, spending time in solitude, healing, you will have this epiphany, this breakthrough, almost like this awakening where you come to an understanding what you've been doing wrong all this time and how you can move forward creating more abundance in your life. Next up, we have the Guardian. So in the Guardian, I do see here that number 4s right now, you're protected, you're being guided, and in a way guarded. Next up, we have Kindness. So I do see here that all of your acts of kindness are culminating to this place where you are supported, where you are under the watchful eyes of the universe, your angels, your spirit guides. And I see here that kindness is something that you really excel at to a certain degree when you want to. But I do want you to know here in the Tower that when things are going in a way wrong in your life, when you're struggling with things, you can kind of be very direct and your words can cut deep, which is where you're being called to resort to kindness still, rather than allowing for your emotions and just feelings to take over and potentially saying things that you will regret. Next up, we have Nourishing Your Temple. So all of my 4s, if you're frequently kind of the person who forgets to eat or forgets to, you know, remind themselves, hey, I have to like have a vitamin every now and then, like ketchup is not gonna cut it for vegetable intake. Do you know here in Nourish Your Temple that this is something that you're being called out on, all my number 4s, okay? Not trying to be rude, but you're being called out to nourish your temple properly and to make sure that you're giving it nutrients that are actually valuable, okay? That you don't just feel that because you're young or because you have a fast metabolism and you've always been kind of like petite or in a sense compact, that you can do whatever you want, okay? There are still long-term effects on your health when you're not properly nourishing your temple. Keep in mind that no matter what your body looks like, whether there are a lot of imperfections or just parts of your body that you wish were smoother, smaller, bigger, do know and nourish your temple that you only get one of these sacred temples in your earthly lifetime. So take care of it. Be grateful for it. Without it, you would not be here in this form and in this very time. Next up, we have connecting with the earth. So finding that deep connection to your temple, to your body, is going to help you connect with the earth more. I do see here that for all my number 4s, diving in deeper from a place that was once just very surface level, just very focused on finances, very focused on that type of stability. I see in connecting with the earth that going a bit deeper spiritually is where you can thrive and where you can feel that connection not only to yourself and your temple, but also other human beings. Because I do see here that it can be a little bit hard for you to connect with other people. It can be hard to feel authentic around other people. But when you feel authentic in yourself and your body and you learn to love it and you spend time in nature, realizing that what you look like is really just so insignificant and really just doesn't matter at all, that's when you can connect on so much more of a deep level with other people and feel less awkward in social situations. So all of my number 4s, I truly hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it insightful and motivational. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello all my destiny number 5s and welcome to your reading. So I'm going to get straight into it with my tarot deck. I just want you to lean back, relax, and enjoy as we figure out what messages are present for you. First and foremost, we have the Chariot, which just comes very instinctively and naturally for you, all my destiny number 5s, because guess what? You have that zest for life. You are that number that is full of energy, that is full of ambition, and that people look up to. The Chariot is all about moving quickly, moving forward, and moving towards your goals. So I do see here when it comes to your destiny that that is something that remains, that is something that will always be. Next, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So I see that that does create financial stability for you, so you not having to worry about what you're going to do in the future financially or how you're going to sustain yourself once you're retired, once you're in a situation where maybe you don't want to work as hard. I see here in the 4 of Pentacles that your zest for life, your drive, your ambition is going to lead you to a point where that is no longer a worry. Next up, we have the Hanged Woman. So I do see here that in the Hanged Woman, you are being called to sometimes just take a little break, okay? Take a little step back, a little bit of time to refuel your chariot, to refuel your vehicle, which is you, all my 5s, and to see things from a different perspective. Because sometimes when you're just dashing by so quickly and you're just grinding, doing life, you can forget to enjoy life along the way, and you can also miss out on valuable ideas and opportunities just because you're so focused on the goal, you're so focused on moving forward. So allow yourself in the Hanged Woman to voluntarily take a step back, take a little break. Next up, we have the 6 of Wands. So in the 6 of Wands, I see here that advancement comes with public recognition for you. So you tend to be this person that breaks through more often than other paths, than other destiny numbers, that breaks through in a very public way, where you get recognition from other people, where you get recognition in your community. Even if they don't always say it out loud, people are paying attention and noticing what you're doing. Next, we have the 3 of Rings. In the Three of Rings, I do see here that you're a very competent destiny number. You're the type of destiny number that is able to collaborate with others, that others trust when it comes to collaboration. So you're a really great leader of a division in a company. You're a really great entrepreneur because you get out and get things done and you take action, but also because you are a trustworthy person where people are like, this is the type of person I would trust with my money, my time, my effort. Next, we have the Burning Bowl ritual. So you could benefit from connecting with fire. The number 5 is already kind of like a very action-driven number, but at the same time here in the Burning Bowl ritual, I do see here that connecting something as deep as writing down your thoughts on some pieces of paper and just burning those, allowing those to just go up into the universe, that energy to kind of be with the universe, be with the astral realm. I can see here in the Burning Bowl ritual that allows you to connect very deeply with goals that you still want to accomplish, but also with your shadow side, also with sides of yourself and of your past that you want to let go of. So writing those things down and just kind of like letting them burn in a burning bowl ritual during a burning bowl ritual is highly beneficial to you at this point in your life. So allow yourself to engage in that and remind yourself of just how valuable connecting with the fire can be for you, all my beautiful destiny and number 5s. And next up, we have alone time. So you are this type of person who does well socially. You are this kind of person who is very outgoing. Nevertheless, alone time would benefit you in order to just rearrange your thoughts, in order to allow yourself to picture the exact moment, to decide the exact moment when you're going to take a break in a very conscious manner, where you're going to decide to take time off, to not think about work, to not think about the next step, moving forward, creating more types of streams of revenue in your life, helping more people. Okay, just time for yourself, just silence, quiet, just even this, it's like unbearable for number 5. So allow yourself to really start to enjoy alone time. Next up, we have intention. And that's exactly what I was looking for. Intention in intentionally spending time in stillness, intentionally spending time almost like upside down, like the hanged woman, not moving, okay? Intentionally spending time in a place of just non-action, in a place where you can just be you and not have to focus on anybody else's needs. Next up, we have a ruminate. So I do see that will allow you for a lot of time to dream, a lot of time to remember awesome, excellent memories that you've had with friends, family members, and then in turn you will be able to plan the next adventures that you know will just stay in the memory bank forever. So all my 5s, this is a reading that I received for you. I just feel like a very strong connection to 5s usually, so I really do hope that this resonated. I really hope that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll see you in another video. Hello all my fellow destiny number 6s, and welcome to your reading. So I'm going to get straight into it. Just lean back, relax, and enjoy figuring out exactly what the universe has to say to you right now. So we have the Star, as well as the 6 of Swords. So the number 6 is a very harmonious and nurturing type of number. So I do see here in the 6 of Swords that there are resolutions coming for you socially. So you're the type of person who really cares about others. You love to be there for others, to nurture them. I see here in the Star that your destiny will forever be to be that person that gives other people hope, that tries to create harmony socially, but also economically, okay, between different social hierarchies. And I can see here in the 6 of Swords that this kind of conflict that you can have internally, this is like a lifelong thing for people with the destiny number 6, is that you're going to come to a place of peace and ease where you know that as long as you put in as much work as you can, as long as you help as much as you can, it's okay. You won't be able to change every single person's life in this world, but that doesn't make you a bad person. That is not something that you should stress about or even feel like you failed or feel like you're not doing well enough. I see here in the 6 of Swords just this deep feeling where you can sigh, take a breath in, and understand that the work that you've done is invaluable, and to be happy and proud of yourself more often. Next up, we have health checkups. So all of my destiny number 6s, do not neglect yourself, okay? When anybody else has a little ouchie, a little boo-boo, you're already rushing them to the ER, okay? You're already taking the utmost care of them. But what about you? What about your health? What about your well-being? That's where I see in health checkup that you're being called to stay up to date with your doctor's appointments, especially the annual ones that you keep forgetting, that you keep going in a little too late or a few years too late. And it's important for you here in the health checkup to take your personal health seriously and to take just as much care of yourself as you take of other people. Next up, in hydrate, I see that you need to stop being so dry and crusty at times, okay? Don't wait till you're thirsty because you're already dehydrated, all my 6s, and not trying to call you out, but this is really for the better, okay? Make sure that you always keep water, that you always keep something to hydrate yourself, to give yourself the hydration that your body needs so you can focus, concentrate, and work on an optimal level. As a destiny number 6, if you're a pet owner, your pet is always going to be taken care of. If you are a parent, your child is never going to be lacking anything. But here I see in hydrate that you lack to even hydrate yourself properly at times because you're just so busy trying to get things done and trying to take care of others and do the best that you can. Don't forget about yourself. Next, we have the sun. So the sun is the most favorable card, one of the most favorable cards of the tarot. So as a destiny number 6, I want you to know here in the sun that your life will always be filled with a lot of warmth, and that is due to the type of person that you are and who you are in turn attracting, because you're very caring, loving, and giving, and in a sense also very nurturing. You have that almost like motherly type of energy. I want you to know here in the sun that you attract more of that back to you as much as you put it out there. Then in the 3 of Swords, I do see here that there is this sense of you that feels in a way like you want the same treatment that you put out there. So sometimes you can feel a little bit alone, you can feel a little lonely, and you can feel like you're always the giver, you're always the nurturer, and sometimes you want that deep nurturing sensation as well, but you feel like people just aren't doing it quite right. Now, as a destiny number 6, you can be a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to people taking care of you emotionally. So that is where you kind of have to like step back a little bit and remind yourself that not everybody is such an awesome nurturer as you are. Then we have the 10 of Swords as well as the 2 of Swords. So for all of my destiny number 6s, I want you to know here in the 10 of Swords, this whole notion of just giving it up, letting it go. If somebody is trying to make an effort, try not to pay any attention to the things that they're maybe not doing as warmly or as selflessly as you do. I can see here in the 2 of Swords that sometimes it can be hard to get to a place of peace when you feel as though you are eternally the giver, you are eternally the nurturer, and you'll never get as much nurturing energy back. Not because you want to demand it or you feel like you should be telling somebody to give you the same back, but because sometimes you just would like to know what it feels like to be cared for by yourself. You wish you were in the position of the people who you care for and love. So that is where I see that there's a little bit of this being torn and being emotionally all over the place. Next up, we have a ruminate. So I do see here in ruminate that you are that person that people call on when they want to make those forever memories, when they want to really have a dependable soul in their life. So you're frequently the type of person who gets invited to important life events, such as, for example, weddings, such as birthdays and so on, where people are making important memories, but people can sometimes shy away from inviting you to smaller parties and smaller festivities because they feel as though maybe you won't enjoy it as much because you won't be able to have any deep conversations or one-on-ones. Next up, we have mental repetition. So as a 6, You are the type of person who has so much going on mentally. You're a very emotional being, a very intuitive being, which is where in mental repetition, you're being called to be very cautious of what you are repeating to yourself mentally. Make sure that those thoughts are thoughts that are positive or thoughts that are harmonious, hopeful, and are contributing to your renewal, are contributing to you being in a place where you feel as though this is good for my mental health, rather than repeating things that you're anxious about, worried about, or stressed out about, okay? Your mental repetition is one of your biggest strengths because you can think of things over and over again. You can feel the emotions very intensively just by thinking of an event, whether it's already happened or about to happen, but that event is not happening in the moment yet. If you think of that event right now, you're so closely linked on an emotional and vibrational level to it that your body is going through those same emotions as if that event were taking place in this very moment. So know that you can use that as your superpower if you continue to let your body and your mind go through those feelings and emotions of amazing events that you want to channel into your life or that you did experience at one point in time. You will just be this ray of light, joy, and warmth without even needing to try, because all of a sudden you'll get used to it and manifestation will just happen like that, because mentally that's the wavelength you're on anyways. So all of my destiny number 6s, this is a reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello all of my destiny number 7s, and welcome to your reading. So I will be starting off with this tarot deck. All you need to do is lean back, relax, and enjoy the divine messages. So we have the 3 of Pentacles as well as the 6 of Cups that just popped right out of the pile. So in the 3 of Pentacles, I do see a lot of hard work that is destined for you on your life path, but it's really fun. I see you being able to collaborate with other people when it comes to the earthly realms, when it comes to your career, but also when it comes to the emotional realm. So you being a very social person, the type of person that people like to have around them because you're honest, but at the same time you're fun. So you'll say things in an honest and direct way, but you'll keep it lighthearted and fun while keeping it real, okay? We love that. So let's move further in. We have the Dawn of Cups. So in the Dawn of Cups, I see here somebody very curious. I see somebody who is able to discover a lot of new paths when it comes to life. So I do see here for all my 7s that you're that person who can put themselves in other people's shoes and situations, and who can understand other cultures, religions, effortlessly, as long as you want to. As we have here in the 6 of Cups, this deep feeling of loving other people, of understanding others who are close to you, people who you want to actually work with, people who you want to have this collaboration with. So that is something that others really love about you. Next up, we have the Tower. So in the Tower, I do see here that people who you do not appreciate, people who you don't like very much, or who you feel are just not very nice to others. I see in the Tower that you're often very quick to call them out on their BS, and you will do so ruthlessly and relentlessly. Next up, we have the World. So all my 7s, the path that you're on right now is an amazing one. The World is the most favorable card of the tarot, and I can see here that you're moving towards fulfillment as well as achievement, which is of course always an awesome space to be moving into. So all my 7s, keep doing what you're doing. Next up, we have the Empress. So moving towards your own family or expanding your family is what I see coming for you. An expansion of the family could of course be, for instance, children, but it could also be fur babies. I want you to know here in the Empress that this feeling of being centered, a lot of abundance being around you, kind of goes without say, and this is just part of your destiny. It's part of moving forward in your life with this destiny number being a part of it. Next up, we have aromatherapy. You can benefit highly from different scents, from different types of aromatherapy, be that spraying a little bit of lavender scent around the room before you go to bed, or just overall paying close attention to aromatherapy by actually working with an aromatherapist and figuring out what soothes you, what works well for you. I see that this is something that you never thought would work, but actually ends up working wonderfully wonderfully for you. Next up, we have spending time with friends. So you're the type of person who can tend to be a little bit introverted, who can tend to be a little withdrawn, even though your social skills aren't necessarily bad, but you don't flex them really as often as you probably should. So that's where all of my 7s, you're being called to actively make plans with friends, with family members. Don't forget how important it is to keep your social life up. Then we have another card that wants to speak within your reading, which is listening to your body. So as a 7, you can sometimes be a little bit harsh, and you can sometimes fail to listen to your body when your body is screaming at you, asking for you to take better care of it, or to just let it be for a little bit. And by let it be, I mean, for instance, fasting, so your body doesn't always need to work with digestion and so on, giving it things that are very easy to digest. So listening to your body is something that you're being called to engage in more, as well as knowing that that will bring you to a place where you can reawaken. So you're destined to go through another phase of an awakening, through kind of like a spiritual epiphany, right? A sense of enlightenment. And I see here in reawakening that that is something you can channel into your life the more you listen to your body and what it needs, because right now you have grown a little bit numb to your body's needs. Emotionally, mentally, you're sharp, but physically, you need to put a little bit more attention into that area of your life. So all of my beautiful 7s, I hope that you enjoyed your reading, that you found it insightful, and that it motivated you. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello, all my destiny number 8s, and welcome to your reading. So let's figure out exactly what messages are present for your destiny number. All you need to do is lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading. So we have the 5 of Rings first and foremost. In the 5 of Rings, one thing that I can see here is that as a destiny number 8, you need to let go of any sort of feeling of insecurity or fear when it comes to the earthly realm. As a destiny number 8, the number 8 is all about abundance. It's all about material prosperity. So you're already way ahead of the game, way ahead of other destiny numbers when it comes to your financial security. But do know that with a mindset of scarcity, you may turn into a workaholic that just never knows when to stop, and also in a sense invites more scarcity in than necessary, because that's what you're focusing on instead of prosperity. Next up, we have the King of Swords. So in the King of Swords, you're being called to use your very articulate as well as intelligent side of yourself to remember, like, hey, I don't need to worry about these things. I don't need to always take everything too seriously when it comes to the material realm. Things are going to flow as they should, and things are going to flow accordingly to what I focus on. So if I'm focusing on being insecure or worried about what the future will bring financially and trying to just hoard as much money as I can for any rainy day, then I'm focusing kind of on what I don't want, right? I'm focusing on scenarios that I'm scared of, where in turn, in the King of Swords, if you just focus your thoughts on what it is that you truly desire, you're going to experience more of that in your life. The Dawn of Cups is a really interesting card to show up within your reading at this stage, because the Dawn of Cups is a very emotional side. So while in the King of Swords, you have this very like analytical part to yourself, in the Dawn of Cups, you have this emotional side that is all about uncovering and discovering better ways of handling your life, handling your relationships, and just this curiosity for everything that is a little strange. And that may also be why you're tuned into this tarot reading. I mean, tarot readings are unconventional, but I see here in the Dawn of Cups that you have like a soft spot for everything that is unconventional and everything that makes sense to you, regardless of whether the majority of society might find it a little bit weird or a little bit eclectic. Next up, we have massage as well as using your hands. So I do see that for all of my 8s out there, using your hands, massaging your body, getting a massage, just overall taking care of yourself using your hands is something that is super beneficial to your energetic field, okay? It's very beneficial to you finding your personal equilibrium, to you getting to a point where you're not so freaked out about continuing your stream of abundance. You have the destiny number 8. You are more abundant than any other destiny number to begin with. So it's important for you to just chill sometimes, number 8. It's important for you to just be in the space and also allow yourself to be touched. Physical touch may be something that you've never been used to, just even from growing up, you know, if it's just never been something that your family has engaged in, so it's really weird to you, that is where you can focus on just getting more comfortable in your body and sharing deep emotional connections and physical ones. Next up, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So in the Ace of Pentacles, I see an amazing business idea and opportunity that is coming for you, where you're being called to not worry so much about whether you're going to get your money back, whether it's going to be prosperous or not. Just use your intellect, use your intelligence in order to figure out whether it is enough of a calculated risk to make it worth it taking. Next, we have the Five of Wands. So all my beautiful number 8s, I see here in the Five of Wands that sometimes you can be a little bit combative, okay? Sometimes you can be a little bit of a, not like a fighter, but you can be the type of person who doesn't back down. Like if somebody challenges you, you're gonna prove them wrong, or you're going to prove them right, depending on where the situation started off from. If somebody says, well, you can't do it anyways, you're gonna prove them wrong. But if somebody says like, yeah, I just knew you didn't like me, you're like, yeah, I said so. So you can be very direct, and in that sense, it can kind of rub some people the wrong way. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something that can cause friction in your life. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So all of my destiny number 8s in the Queen of Pentacles, I see that right now you're being called to nurture the investments that are already present and existent in your life. So if you have some things that you invested in or thought of investing in, maybe you've kind of opened this account where you can trade stocks, or you purchased a few stocks and you haven't really been taking care of your portfolio, or what it is that you started, a business venture that you attempted to do, but you kind of fell out or fell off of the track. It's important for you to come back to it and nurture it at this point in time, as it may have a glow up, as you may come to realize that there's more potential here than you originally saw. Next up, we have compassion as well as triggers. So I do see here in compassion that being a bit more compassionate is something that you can focus on by moving away from putting too much emphasis on your financial situation, on putting too much emphasis on your career, but instead finding more compassion for those around you as well as the nature. I do see here in triggers that you're the type of person who can be a little bit hard, a little bit numb, have a lot of walls around them until they're broken down, and then it's like everything triggers you. Like you see somebody looking at a cat in a mean way, looking at a dog like they're just like, and you're triggered. You're like, this person is not trustworthy. This person is not a good person, okay? Or you, for instance, encounter somebody and they're already giving you weird vibes, and then on top of it, they just kind of hit you with some type of stereotype, with some type of gender stereotype, racial stereotype, and you're like, yeah, there was a reason why I didn't like this person. There's a reason why I felt triggered from the moment I met this person. So you just moving from one extreme to the next can sometimes be the case socially. So you either being completely numb, completely like everybody do whatever they want because this world is destined to collapse anyways, but then you have this other side that is deeply compassionate, feels every little facet, feels all the feels, and can be very emotional due to that. So finding your balance there is something that you're being called to look into, to try and work on, and to just find that happy medium for you, for your own sake. So all of my beautiful destiny number 8s, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another reading. Hello all my destiny number 9s, and welcome to your reading. So I'm gonna get straight into it with my tarot deck. All you need to do is lean back, relax, and enjoy the messages present for your destiny number. So first and foremost, we have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups just really pictures and captures your old soul type of vibe. So as a destiny number 9, you've always been an old soul. Even as a kid, you've probably been way ahead of your time, way ahead of your peers. You've always been that kid where people are like, wow, this is really mature, this is really great advice. And I see here in the Four of Cups that is just such an innate ability within you that you will just always have with you. It's just part of your path. Next up, we have the King of Wands. So nevertheless, even though you're this old soul, I see here in the King of Wands that you're not afraid to move out of the ordinary, to move out of your comfort zone and to tackle new things that just excite you, to go on fresh adventures, to be a leader when you are passionate about things. Next up, we have the Eight of Wands. So I see a lot of forward movements, a lot of jolts into spaces that you feel passionate about. But as soon as you're not passionate about something, I see that it just kind of is bleh to you. It just kind of doesn't speak to you. It doesn't really encourage you to do anything, to move forward in any particular type of way. You're just kind of complacent and you kind of just wait for time to pass by. Now, this can be a little difficult if you are studying a certain subject, or you're still in school, or you're working a job that you're not passionate about, because as soon as the passion isn't there, you aren't really there. But let's move further into your reading. We have the Four of Cups. So we have the Four of Cups already show up twice within your reading. You are this person who engages in deep contemplation, who constantly reevaluates situations, but also other human beings' motivations, other people's motives to do certain things. So I do see that you're very aware of anybody's kind of like tricks that they're trying to play. Next up, we have the Ace of Wands. Just like all of the aces, just as like all of the number ones, the Ace of Wands signifies a fresh start, a positive fresh start, a lot of willpower, as well as ambition. So you are like this perfect mixture between being in a place where you're emotionally sane and an old soul and a wise person, but at the same time, you know when you have to get out of this comfortable spot, have to get out of the chair that you're sitting in, where you're just like telling people stories from and sharing your wisdom with, and get moving and put on like your running shoes and get running. Next up, we have the Star as well as the Six of Swords. So in the Star, I definitely see here that you are always inclined to renew and update your knowledge, which is an amazing trait and makes you that person that people really respect, because you're not an old soul that's just a know-it-all. You're an old soul who understands that you still need to go with the times to be able to connect with people of all different ages and all different walks of life. Then in the Six of Swords, I do see here that in a sense, you can sometimes prematurely move on from relationships when they're not stimulating enough. So that can hurt people's feelings, okay? That can kind of make some people feel as though they're not quite good enough to be around you. It can be intimidating when they just get a short answer from you, when anybody just gets like a short yes, no, or we'll talk later answer. Next up, we have Make an Altar as well as Beauty Ritual. So I do see here for all of my nines that you're being called to make yourself like a little shrine, a little altar, put up some photos, some nice candles, some crystals, just things that are beautiful to you, things that make you feel like, oh, I'm at home and I can manifest, and this is just like a nice little sacred space where you can retreat but also display things that are important to you. In the beauty ritual, if you've fallen off the bandwagon with taking care of yourself, especially physically, it's time to get back in there, all my number nines, and it's time to take proper care of yourself again. A beauty ritual shows that you value yourself and your body. It's great to be, you know, mentally very wise, very sharp, and that inspirational person, but if you're not taking care of yourself, it reflects in your actions. Then we have negativity as well as transform. So last but not least, all my number nines, you're being called to work on certain things rather than just push them aside and say, oh, this isn't even worth my time. So it is sometimes good to do what you often do, to just push things aside that you know are just drama and not worth your time. But sometimes, you know, have a little bit more faith in situations, have a little bit more faith that you can turn somebody who is just negativity into actually being more about positivity. Allow yourself to know that transformation is something that happens in different increments and at different speeds for everybody. You're the type of person who is wise, steady, yet very adaptable. Not everybody can adapt to a situation as quickly as you can, which is where you're being called to kind of not just see every situation that isn't the most positive encounter as pure negativity, but to allow yourself to understand that because you're a great teacher, you're full of wisdom, you have knowledge and different approaches that can be invaluable to other people and also institutions that you're being called to share rather than just completely give up on somebody who looks like they're on a destructive path. You may just be the one to turn their entire life and existence around. So know that you have that responsibility, my nines, to share your wisdom. So all of my beautiful destiny number 9s, I truly hope that you enjoyed your reading and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello, all of my destiny number 11. So if you are a destiny number 11, congratulations, that is a master number. It shows a higher sense of awareness, a higher sense of interconnectedness, as well as psychic abilities very often, but not always. Next, we have the Tower as well as the 6 of Cups. So one thing that I can see here in the 6 of Cups is that there is a lot of serenity present for you, but I do see here in the Tower that you're going through a little bit of a conflicting time. Let's see what that's all about. We have the 8 of Rings next. So the 8 of Rings is all about positive potential as well as resourcefulness, but in conjunction to the Tower as well as the 6 of Cups, I do see that in a certain way you feel as though right now where the world is at economically, that there isn't really any point in moving forward with your career, trying something new, or attempting to build a business, attempting to build something completely new. You feel as though competition is kind of high and economically things are kind of in a low. That is where I see here in the 6 of Cups that taking time to yourself as well as to remind yourself that whatever you set your mind to, you can accomplish it, no matter whether we are in a recession, depression, or any other type of economic term. There are always winners, so why wouldn't you be one of those winners, especially with the master number 11 being a part of your destiny? You are, if not like you, who will succeed? Honestly, I don't even know what else to say, all of my 11s. Next up, we have alone time. So spending time by yourself, just really thinking and maybe even contemplating after watching this reading is going to bring you to a sense of more self-confidence, because sometimes as an 11, there can just be so much weight and so much responsibility on your shoulder and in your life that you almost don't realize just how powerful you can truly be. Next, we have dance, moving your body, shifting your vibration, all very much needed right now for you. If you've grown stagnant, complacent, or you haven't really been engaging in much physical activity, dance, you know, just turn on the music and just dance to something, move, work out, and just have fun. And nobody needs to see, nobody needs to be there judging your dance moves. That's not what it's about. It's just about shifting your body, shifting your vibration, moving it in ways in which feels good. Next, we have the World as well as the Star. So literally two of the most favorable cards of the tarot, and I know I don't even sound surprised. That's because I'm not. As a destiny number 11, of course the world is yours. Of course there's a lot of hope in this world. There's a lot of potential for harmony, healing, and just overall seeing the bright side of things. It is because your life is full of positive energy, opportunity, and ways in which you can change the world. So do know as a number 11 that you are a lot more fortunate than a lot of other destiny numbers, well, most other destiny numbers, and to lean into that, to actually not get to a point where you feel uninspired, but to continuously challenge yourself, especially when you're done with something. Don't wait till you feel depressed or uninspired or like you don't know what to do next. Move on to the next project. The world needs your energy. It's very special. Next up, we have Reliable as well as Guardian. So I do want you to know here that your guides, your angels are with you. Your guardians are always going to be there protecting you. As a number 11, you are especially lucky. You are especially fortunate to be in this position. And I want you to know here in Reliable that the universe will deliver. Manifest and you will find a way. One thing about the number 11 with the destiny numbers, it's that you find the most intricate, innovative ways to get to what you want to accomplish. Now, use that strength in order to not only create the life that you desire, but also create something that will outlive you. So creating an awesome career, but also finding ways to give back and using your ability to create a how to do it in order to just make big things happen. So for instance, if you're asking yourself how you can supply fresh drinking water to the entire world, know as an 11, you can find a way much more easily than other destiny numbers. You're destined to succeed. You're destined to do great things. Now, make sure that it doesn't overwhelm you or that you don't get bored. You becoming bored is the worst, because then it's like, instead of so much potential, it's like it takes so much to get out of a depressed state. So try and make sure that you soar above that, and that you keep in mind that with a lot of gifts, when a lot is given to you, a lot is expected, and it's a lot of responsibility. So all of my 11s, I truly hope that you enjoyed your reading, and I hope that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll catch you in another video. Hello, all my destiny number 22s. So you too possess a master number, which congratulations, that is awesome. The master number 22 is also known as the master builder. And what the universe is trying to tell you first and foremost is to dance, okay? So for all of my 22s, dance, shake it out, shift your vibration. I do see here that with being you comes a lot of responsibility, a lot of energy that you have to exert. So it's important for you to shake off the stress every now and then by moving your body. Next up, we have connecting with your womb as well as sound healing. Now, if you are not a female, connecting with your womb may seem strange, but just know that connecting with feminine energy is something that we can all do. Connecting with that nurturing energy, with that energy that can create a life, whether it be bringing a business to life or an actual child, it is still this innate ability to create something out of nothing, basically, to have something grow and thrive under your supervision. So do know here that connecting with that side of you can build a legacy that will outlive you. All of my master number 22s, you are those types of people who build empires, legacies that outlive your lifetime. In sound healing, I see that connecting with music is something that you do very easily and that heals you more deeply than you have ever noticed or realized. And I do see that if only you give yourself the motivation and you just try to learn a new instrument or learn how to sing, even if it's something that you've never done before, you catch on to it a lot more easily than others. Next up, we have the shadow. So in the shadow, I do see here that in a sense you can attract a lot of people who are materialistic because they feel the energy around you, the energy of just success, the energy of being able to thrive, and they want a little piece of your cake. So that's where you're being called to be very careful who you surround yourself with, because your energy is magnetic and people can tell that it's different to other destiny paths. Next up, we have the 8 of Cups. So for all of my beautiful 22s, the 8 of Cups shows that you're moving into a new direction emotionally. I see here walking away from certain relationships because you realize like they're just using you. They're just using the fact that you have this master builder energy. And I know this may sound conceited, but let's be real, okay? Some people do really only text you, call you up when they need something from you, or once they realize that your life is moving in a favorable direction, whereas before they would have never reached out to you or even noticed you, which is where I see in the 8 of Cups. You're way too mature for those games. You know when somebody is doing that and you stay far away, which is really good in order to protect your aura. Next up, we have the Princess of Swords. Oh, okay, and another card, we have the Princess of Wands. So we have this masculine energy here where in the Princess of Swords, you're very intelligent and you know how to use your cleverness to get what you want, but at the same time, you're not the one that monopolizes the speaking. You like for other people's to speak and for you to listen and just soak up all of the information. I can see here in the Princess of Wands that you then implement that information. You then use that information that you were able to derive, and then you create big things with it. So it starts small. It starts with, I kind of heard this thing. I kind of thought, why not try it? But all amazing ideas, all legacies, every empire started with a little idea. Next up, we have replenish, as well as unexpected. So I do see here that getting enough sleep is really important for you, and you may need more sleep than the average destiny number, okay? So in replenishing your sleep, you're being called to make it a point to replenish your sleeping pattern, especially if your sleeping pattern hasn't been great, especially if you haven't been sleeping a lot at all. As I can see here in unexpected, that there are a lot of things coming towards you that you never in your wildest dream would have thought would happen in this lifetime, but they're happening, okay? And unexpected things require unexpected amounts of time and energy. So when you do have time to replenish and sleep, make sure that you take care of your physical body. Make sure that you're giving yourself time to recuperate and restore your energy, so that when unexpected things come up and you're being called to step up into your highest calling, into your 22 master builder energy, you're there. You can pound out the building work, you can pound out the sketches, you can basically just be the architect, the builder, the creator, the person who sells it, the person who cashes in the check, makes a profit. You can play all the roles, put on every hat, because that's what the master builder does, okay? Having a master number be your life destiny is a blessing. It's something wonderful. So consider yourself very lucky and fortunate, and take good care of your body. So all of my beautiful 22s, I hope that you enjoyed your reading, and I hope that you found it insightful and motivational. Let me know down below in the comment section what hit home for you, and I'll see you in another video.